if that was not your intention. That's definitely what I read it as. I also agree with that assessment. There are limited formats that I've definitely enjoyed in the past, but I think limited in pretty much all formats is pretty terrible to watch as far as content's concerned. Spire Bluff Canals, please not Storm. Storm's a pretty tough matchup. I actually put some Damping Spheres in our board for the Storm matchup. I think that's one of the harder matchups for this archetype. A hard time sticking with the deck to play in Modern. As time goes on, I've accumulated a lot of the format. While I have powerhouses like Affinity, Humans, and Shadow, none feel as good to play as Abzan Company. Nah, you should just play Abzan Company. I think the Abzan Company deck is fine. I think as far as competitive stuff goes. Remember, at the end of the day, Magic the Gathering does not make nearly enough money for you to not enjoy what you're doing. So ultimately, how much fun you're having playing a deck should be one of the deciding factors in playing it. I think sometimes when people are taken prisoner, they suffer from something called Stockholm Syndrome, Mako. And they believe their captor is actually one of their friends, when in reality, they are not their friend at all. So that's my comment on people that think Deathrite Shaman is okay. Our hand's pretty slow against Storm. Like, we could die this turn even. Not having a second land tier kind of hurt our explosiveness. Although Collected Company could go a long way towards letting stuff work for us. I'm not going to cast this company here, because I don't want to play into Remand. I'm going to attack for 1 and pass the turn. They don't have anything going on, so pretty good chance they're on a Remand. The vintage stream was great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Thyan. Tell your friends who enjoy vintage to check out the YouTube stuff. I base a lot of when I try other formats like that we don't usually play, whether or not I revisit them in the future is generally dictated by how successful the numbers end up being. A Ezuri Renegade with the bits while we're playing some elves. God bless. Thank you for the support. Am I dead yet? Am I going to bite it? Yeah, we ended up not playing Dredge. So it smells like we're dead. I think Elves is a fine linear deck. I like beating people down with like more honest aggro decks. As far as like being interactive goes though, I would never play a deck like Elves at an actual Magic tournament, because I feel like just too many of the decisions that I get to make are like outside of my control when I'm playing a deck like this. Like, you just don't have enough interactive decision points where a lot of your games just come down to racing with a deck like this. And I feel like a lot of people that dislike Modern, or say, you know, Modern's all degenerate, or there's no skill and it's just all decks racing, I feel like those people are playing decks like this. And there are people that like playing linear race decks like this, and that's okay. Modern offers you these choices, but like, as someone who plays in tournaments, when I'm playing a tournament, I want a deck that lets me make more decisions than a deck like this lets me make on average. I feel like this turn's just going to end in a Grape Shot clearing my board. No, Kranos is fine. Control mirrors are generally slow. Gonna get graped here. I think we're getting graped. They probably want to flashback a cantrip first, right? To take one more damage. Yeah, exactly, Fire Spoon. There aren't a ton of decisions to make in the mono red prison decks in Legacy, legit advice. I just think the decks that allow you to make a lot of decisions in Legacy right now, by and large, are a giant dumpster fire. That's why I don't really like playing Legacy as a competitive format. I think Legacy is a really sweet format when we get to like blast off and do silly things online. But as far as the competitive format goes, ever since they banned Sensei's Divining Top, it's really pretty rancid. This is Dwynen's Elite plus Shaman of the Pack. That's probably lethal with my other Shaman of the Pack next turn, right? Put this trigger on the stack first so it resolves last. Remember when I said I like this Shaman of the Pack card? Candy. Tasty candy. Tasty, tasty candy. Definitely want all of these. I think I want to trim some of my top end here. Lead the Stampede probably isn't a card that I need. I'm also boarding in non-creatures, so boarding out non-creatures makes sense. It's an Ezuri out matchup. I feel like I'm going to have a hard time building critical mass for this. Yeah, I agree. Winning game one is great for a chances matchup. Maybe he's better than some of these Elvish Visionaries. Yeah, that's probably better. Should just keep my pounders in. Let's do this. Thoughts on Shaper, Sanctuary in the sideboard of this deck? I don't know. You've already got Lead the Stampede and Collected Company, so like I feel like you've got like the value matchups covered pretty well. I guess if you're expecting an exceptional amount of Jeskai and green, black, and Jund, that seems like it would be fine. This is what someone commented on earlier. You know, we have black spells on our board, and we don't actually have a lot of black lands. Yeah, I don't think this is good enough, just because I can't cast the discard spells. This is like an okay elf hand. Archdruid on top makes it a great elf hand. Someone asked about Graveyard Hate. I don't think you're beating Dredge most games even with Graveyard Hate. I've played the Dredge side of this matchup a few times, and you pretty much slaughter this deck even through Graveyard Hate a lot of the time. No, I really don't listen to any podcasts. Just not enough hours in the day. I have a job that I can't listen to podcasts while I work. And I assume we're not going to get a turn 3 here. They banned Grape Shot. Do you think we could have Ponder and Preordain? Yeah, I think so. I think probably. I think Storm's the reason we can't have nice things. Yeah, I like that idea. I like Scavenging Ooze as an okay card in this sideboard. Because it's like a card that's good against like Jund and Jeskai, but like also is still Graveyard Hate without being narrow. It's also like the volume of content too, Mertz, right? Because like there probably aren't that many other people who stream or make as much Magic content as I do, right? Like even people that like produce weekly content for like Channel Fireball, like that's like one video and one article a week a lot of the time. I think decks like Jeskai Control and Jund and Green-Black mid-range, those interactive mid-range decks, Humans, those are all decks that are very reasonable and don't just fold up to sideboard cards. So long, Archdruid, my old friend. My whole board, I really liked my board opponent. I really liked my board. I was kind of attached to it. We were good friends. At least they don't have a lot else going on. How you feel about Death Shadow? I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. It's like a fine tier 2 deck. Everything's tier 2. If everything is tier 2, is nothing tier 2? Tier playable? It's tier playable. I think I'm gonna just start using that. It's tier playable. What tier is it? It's playable. Owling Mine's a hoot. That is the only appropriate response to how do you feel about Owling Mine. It's a hoot. Humans is the best deck. The numbers say humans is the best deck. In my numbers tally of events that I counted up for my data article tomorrow, I think humans was like 11% of the format. I think the data set had like 400 decks in it. So like 400 top finishing decks, 40 of them or so were humans. Whew, we're finally dead? Man, I just can't believe we got a third turn. That's so many turns. We're not deterministically dead yet based on their graveyard, so what you got going on over there? They're just like grape shotting my board again here. We can't know conversion rate numbers, Serpy Boy. That's not data we have access to. Magic data is all flawed and fractured and incomplete by design. If we had access to numbers like that, it would be much easier to say which decks are objectively the best deck. My data set doesn't include Magic Online leagues, which are artificially diverse by design. Yeah, in comparison, my data set, which doesn't have Magic Online data skewing it, it has humans at 11%. With the next deck, it's 7%. So humans is like 50% more. Oh yeah, we're deterministically dead, right? They can flashback past In Flames and do Grape Shot. My data comes from looking at only large Swiss events that had 75 players or more in the last 6 weeks. And again, in the article tomorrow that'll go up on gatheringmagic.com, I talk about my data sources and why I counted the things that I counted. I mean, if Bogles couldn't beat an EE, it wouldn't be playable. No, I play card games for strangers on the internet. I don't need to do things like data analysis. I'm actually just like looking for a source of card advantage here, right? I think my turn 2 here is probably going to be Duress plus Dwynen's Elite. Yep. Also just gatheringmagic.com. I probably won't tweet right when it gets published because I'll be streaming when the article goes live. I'll be streaming when the article goes live. I guess I'm going to Thoughtseize since I drew that because they only have one creature. I can take that. Yep. We don't really have a decision to make. I'm not playing Dwynen's Elite out as a Grizzly Bear. I think that's a non-decision. I think statements like that are silly to make a Matthew, so I'm not going to make them. I would say I try to draw my data set has 416 decks in it. So what constitutes a relevant data size is different. So I'm just gonna, I love, that's such a, I'm not gonna, okay, I'm gonna rant. Everybody can check the rant space off your bingo card. There's nothing more fucking asshole mouth breather on the internet than telling me that what I did was wrong with literally never actually seeing what I did. You literally don't know what I did, what data I collected, and how I drew my conclusions, and you're telling me I did it fucking wrong. Just like it's mind-boggling to me that people do shit like that. I just can't even understand why. Sorry. I exploded a little bit there. That was a little over the top. It's so frustrating. Just like the number of people that do stuff like that. It has been 60 seconds. Oh, I forgot there's a time requirement. Sorry, that's all I needed to say. I shouldn't have gotten worked up quite as much as I did there, but it's just, the stuff like that happens constantly. It's very frustrating when, like, I spend several hours working on this thing and someone shows up, reads the title, and then shits on the thing without actually doing more than reading the title. People are the worst, I agree. And you know what? There's definitely issues with my data set. There's issues with every Magic data set, because you know what? Magic data sets are some of them are intentionally incomplete, and some of them are incomplete just by the fact that to make them complete is too much work for people to actually do based on the payback that they would get from it. All right, we're gonna smash with everything but Archdruid here. We'll play this Dwynen's Elite post-combat. We need them to brick off for what? One more turn here? It might be 2 more turns. I guess they're only bumping 2 here. They might trade. Yeah, trading makes sense. And they'll block a 2/2 and take 8. And then Dwynen's Elite next turn should be lethal, assuming they don't like make goblins or something. Sure. It's a little conservative, but seems fine. They definitely need this to go off, so. The bingo cards are well done. They're there so you can actually check things off the board. Am I dead yet? That, I guess they might not have, I don't remember if this is, they have this in their hand? If they have this in their hand, this should be deterministically dead. So I'm going to bin the mana. If they cast Desperate Ritual, I'm going to concede. Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's the thing I like the least about Storm. Storm took a card like Gifts Ungiven that has a really sweet design and just made it this autopilot, this is always what you get, and then they die. And it's really sad and depressing. At any rate, things that aren't sad and depressing is the rest of the match we're going to play today, hopefully. My name's Jeff Hoagland. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We're playing some Modern today. We're wrapping up the Magic segment for today with some Green-Black Elves. If you're enjoying my stuff, the rants, the Magic, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full-time. Also, be sure to check out some of my wonderful sponsors, mtgotraders.com. Love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. MacWeldon.com provides premium men's clothing. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/Hulu Clothes, you can save 20% on your first order of premium men's shorts, socks, underwear, t-shirts, polos, all sorts of great stuff there. And of course, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin, Nivik, and all of y'all out there. Thanks everyone for watching. There's a lot of great people making Magic content and just stuff in general on Twitch. So thanks for choosing to spend part of your Thursday here with us. Had a tough loss to Storm there, but let's see if we can battle it back. We're 0-1 in this league with Green-Black Elves. Let's go and lead on this for my Elvish Mystic. So I could lead the Stampede here, but I think I want to just put all this pressure into play. The pro Hearthstone heathens are making their voices heard. How do I make my anti-Hearthstone voice heard? Well, the Hearthstone stuff didn't replace Magic content. In fact, all I've done for the last 3 months is just add more and more Magic content. So I'm not sure that if I stopped streaming Hearthstone, I would suddenly add another 10 hours of Magic content, you know? Variety's the spice of life. Getting some different things on stream is nice. I'm playing some Hearthstone anyways. You want to insult me to let them know we're serious? You think this matchup's that good? I guess our linear game plan's a lot better than theirs, right? I really don't like games like Fortnite, by and large. Third-person shooters really aren't my thing. I played a little bit of Overwatch, and that game's pretty fun, but I'm really not a fan of third-person shooters. Is there another card game you would like to stream? I think I'm going to dip my toe into Artifact when that comes out. But, no, there really isn't. So, before I dove into Hearthstone, I actually tried a bunch of different card games. I played Eternal some more. I played Test Legends. People that have watched my stuff for a while know I've played a ton of Hex TCG, and Hearthstone's honestly the one that's grabbed my attention the most after Magic. Artifact's going to be a trading card game using the Steam Marketplace. What was I going to say? Actually, Epic Card Game, I was just going to say, Epic Card Game is actually a lot of fun too. Their digital client just is on like hold or something. At any rate, I'm in their digital alpha and they just haven't done any work on it for a long time. My thoughts on MTG Arena are right here. Feel free to give that a peek and then let me know. My biggest problem with Eternal card game isn't even that it's too close to Magic. It's that Magic really sucks in a best of one format, in my opinion, and their ladder is all best of one. So, in my opinion, Magic style games. I actually didn't try Gwent for 2 reasons. One, they don't have a mobile client, right? I'm pretty sure I looked and they didn't have an Android client. And 2, they posted that they were taking a development pause for 6 months for some reason. So it didn't seem to make sense to try a game that wasn't going to be worked on for half a year. The best of one in Hearthstone feels a lot less bad to me than best of one in Magic. The fact that your decks are smaller in Hearthstone and there's no resource variance makes best of one a lot more of a fitting setting. I think it would, Firespoon. I think it would. I actually didn't end up trying Shadowverse. Everything I read said it was very similar to Hearthstone. What do I think is the best creature combo deck in Modern currently? What is the least bad creature combo deck? Probably Counter Company. The Devoted Druid Counters Company just has a really good linear plan, and being linear in Modern is generally good. Also, the artwork in Shadowverse is kind of force of will-ish, right? It's like not like very family friendly. Large titted anime women. If your card game doesn't need large titted anime women, it doesn't. If you feel like your card game needs large titted anime women, it's not for me, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not that I'm against things being sexual on cards. It's just when you sexualize artwork for no reason, I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like, for instance, when like they have when you're depicting a character that's supposed to be like this warrior character and she's got no clothing on, like that's like silly, right? Like if it's like a succubus character that's like supposed to be like sexual by through the deity or the background, like that can be interesting and passable or whatever, right? Like I could accept that's okay. It's immature. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. And I'm doubling here because they probably have a lord. But Jess, less chest armor means better stats, right? I actually do think that artwork on that card's okay, Burgle, but Hex actually has a few cards that in my mind are overly sexualized for no reason too. What's a good example of the female, the AA Intrepid Conjurer is definitely like a prime example of like a card that has too much cleavage on it for no reason. I think we're dead here. If their hand's at all reasonable, we're just not going to be in a position to race here. Dows, you have a Sapphire Shard now. You change shards mid-comment. Look at that. Have a sword. Welcome to the party. I've seen the Battle Bond spoilers that people posted that like might impact non-rotating formats, but I haven't been watching Battle Bond stuff. I'm gonna run back the no sideboard here. Pretty sure our game one plan is pretty good in this matchup. Hey, Johnny boy, thank you for the 2-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. 12 months, who wants a timeout? I don't think we really care about Vial most of the time. Also, remember, sideboarding is a fluid process. It's 1-to-1. You don't just add cards and not take anything out. Like, what card in my deck right now is worse than Reclamation Sage? Like, all of our cards in our main deck kind of contribute to a game plan. Battle Bond will be standard legal in China, but not anywhere else in the world. hate everything. I mean, I really wanted a Heritage Druid with that. I just wanted some other cards with it. It's unbanned, Dows. /unban. There you go. Tom got him. I'm not wrong about that. It's called a joke. I was yoking. I was yoking. I know it wasn't unrealistic. That's a problem. That's a problem. The fact that Wizards has set that as a precedent is a problem. It's not good, to say the least. All right. Second chance here. Survey says. All right. I found an Archdruid at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack with my 3/3s here, and then we'll play some stuff out post combat. I can't really grow hair, so that's not really an option. Maybe Foster, you'd have to explain. The board state's too far gone at this point. I genuinely don't remember. I'd believe you. The random Heritage Druid Nettle Sentinel counts are funky. Opponents should be very dead here. Like, assuming they don't cast Hibernation next turn, they're very dead. We're gonna attack with some little green people next turn. It's gonna be okay. Hibernation, some good Bogles tech too, by the way. Yep. This is the technology for sending the Bogles back from whence he came. God, so many kids have no idea what hibernation is. God. Know your past, kids. Know your past. Jeez. All right, you ready to smash? You ready to smash? Who's ready to smash, chat? The Twitch presence of Pokemon, the Pokemon TCG, is laughable, which is really weird. Like, the viewer counts for people that stream Pokemon TCG is comparable to other niche collectible card games online, like Hex and Eternal Card Game. I've streamed it some in the past, yep. Because I actually really like Pokemon as a card game. Like, if there had been a drive or a demand for Pokemon TCG content, I would definitely have it in my regular schedule. Yeah, I don't know what Hex is doing with themselves, Tom. They've definitely they're trying, but I think they might have tried too late. I have no idea. The online client for Pokemon TCG is actually really elegant and slick. It's really slick. It's actually made by Direwolf Digital, which is the company that makes Test Legends and Eternal card game. We lost to Storm in the first round, Lord. Died to Storm. I have very little desire to play anything competitively. Ever again? Probably ever again. Am I on the play? I'm on the draw at least. I have essentially no desire to ever play anything or try to play things competitively ever again. How did you enjoy Blueback Tezzeret last time you played for it? It was okay. Like fine random and Snaring Bridge deck. I find I enjoy myself more when we're playing casually, and the viewers like random bad things more than hyper competitive stuff too. Yeah, I don't understand it either, Bilbo, if I'm being honest. She just got fucking him to Toract. Oh, did it only take one card? It only took one card, didn't it? It did. God bless. I don't understand the difference. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. It's like Grixis stuff. Mardu Pyromancer. Well, I would like to let you know that you are in the minority, at least as far as my experience is concerned. And I get that. Whenever I say one thing is more popular, there's always some number of hands that throw up in the audience and go, no, I like the other thing more, and I get it. There's some people like everything. There's something for everyone. I'm saying in general, by and large, there's a reason why when I streamed my focused competitive testing and like only used Magic Online to stream decks I was testing for events, my sub count never broke 400 points. For context, never broke 400 points. Whereas right now, I currently have 1,300 sub points. That's a pretty big difference. Probably not, Bilbo. I actually had a falling out with my buddy who was lending me Pokemon TCGO cards, so I don't really have access to the stuff that I was playing with previously. Correct. And I enjoy, like I said, I genuinely enjoy playing the more relaxed decks and like not being a tryhard more than being a tryhard. Like the payoff for being a tryhard in games like Magic is so extremely low. It's so extremely low. So we're in a pretty bad spot here, but like if we hit a Lead the Stampede, we could draw 5 cards and be back in this. So I'm gonna make them kill me. Ugh, more souls are gonna be tough to raise. the Magic documentary on Netflix, like, did anybody else find that kind of depressing? Like, this story followed, like, what were supposed to be some of, like, the big names, and, like, the results of, like, how they lived and stuff like that is just like, man, this is something. This is something. Remember when I said we could draw a bunch of cards? Come on, let's keep the hits rolling here. Holy crap. Have I mentioned that I love Lead the Stampede yet? Have I mentioned that I love Lead the Stampede? We went 4-1 Kinklebiter. The deck was really sweet. It was definitely super honest. It's an Enter the Battlefield documentary that's actually on Netflix. So if you search Magic the Gathering on Netflix, it should pop up. Well, we actually can't make black mana now, right? I traveled to play Magic for fun. The most money I ever netted in a year playing Magic was probably a couple thousand at most. Like, most of the 3 years I spent grinding and playing a ton of Magic, I think I made somewhere between $15,000 and $25,000 playing Magic tournaments each of those years. But, like, the amount of travel costs and cards I had to buy and hotels and planes and gas and all this other stuff, like, the actual net profit at the end of it versus whatever amount of money I made was just a couple grand. Like, the amount of money I didn't ended up, yeah. Do I want to smash here? If I wanted to smash, I should have waited to play stuff. No, I said there were some years I made up to about 20,000 gross, but once you net and write off all of your expenses, the actual amount of money that you really made and didn't just, like, spend making that money is very negligible. I shouldn't have played both of these if I'm attacking here, but am I still supposed to? I think I'm supposed to attack, right? They get to eat this, and then if they eat this, they take 4. Yeah, I think it's worth it to smash here. I fucked up. I should have waited to play these. Because I want to untap. Well, I guess my Nettle Sentinel is going to get eaten anyways. It's most likely going to get eaten. Because Wizards of the Coast runs their tournaments today the same way they ran their tournaments 25 years ago, because they're a large company that moves glacially and is slow to adapt and react to things. And yeah, and that's just accounting profits as nothing. Correct. And I mean, like, I'm not sad that I traveled to play Magic. Like, I enjoyed the time I spent playing Magic the Gathering. Traveling. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't have traveled to do it, right? Like, obviously I wasn't making enough money doing it to, like, do it if I wasn't enjoying it. All right, I think that's the rating on the walls at this point. Yeah. By and large, I worked 40 hours a week for most of that. I remember playing an open in Kansas City, and there was a blizzard Sunday night, and I had to be home for work the next morning. And I remember Kansas City is normally a 6.5 hour drive, driving the speed limit, from where I live in Bloomington. It took us 13 hours to get home. I got home at 6:30 a.m., took a shower, took a 45-minute nap, and went to work at 8 o'clock the next morning. Just like, ugh. Living the dream. Yep. Hashtag grinder stories. I have to smash here, right? I'm gonna leave the elf back, the mystic back, so I can keep casting my spells though. Because I have to force them to trade off. I can't even force them to trade off with some of these, right? You think we're just dead? Oh, and then I'm just gonna be dead to this, right? Yeah, we're dead no matter how we cut this. The Blood Moon actually ended up winning them that game. I don't actually have anything to sideboard here, right? We're kind of pre-boarded for these grindy matchups, which makes it extra bad that we lost game 1. Our sideboard's pretty specific. It's got a bunch of like anti-artifact and enchantment cards. It's got a couple of cards for other decks that have forest, and it's got anti-combo cards. I guess Sage is fine. Thorn of Amethyst is not good enough. I don't think that's true. We're not going to be able to pulse Blood Moon. We don't have a basic swamp. Again, chat, if you want to be constructive while offering sideboarding advice, you need to suggest cards that we can cut and why we should cut them. Sideboarding is a one-to-one process. Seems pretty good. Also, remember that last game where we were kind of slogging through there? We mulliganed to 5 that game, and we got discard spelled on 1 and 2. We should side out the mountains. I agree. The mountains are not particularly good. Hopefully they play a discard spell here and not kill my guy. That's sad. I think I'm casting Grizzly Bear here. We are going to be starting with your wild deck today, Apprentice. So that'll be the first thing up for Hearthstone this afternoon after this league. What's going on, Distrominator? Howdy. Grizzly Elf. Raging Yoshi. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm allowed to time them out. If people don't want to be constructive, there are plenty of other Twitch chats out there where they are allowed to just spew and not be constructive. My goal for my chat is to create an engaging and helpful, constructive place. Raging Yoshi, for wild deck lists, the minimum donation amount is $1 for every 100 dust worth of cards I have to craft that are not standard legal. Humans, play the best deck. I wonder if that's the case. I wonder if you want some Elves of Deep Shadow. It would help casting the black sideboard cards too. We're super dead here, huh? Well, I'm glad you're learning stuff, Lord. That's the goal. The goal is for all of us to be able to learn stuff together. And people just like screaming out random stuff and not being helpful doesn't contribute to that. They don't need to be here. All right. Well, they're out of cards until they top deck Bedlam Reveler next turn. All right. If we company into a couple shamans, we can steal this real easy. You're good at speaking things into existence. Oh, you know what? I should have left black up here in case I draw a shaman. Double shaman. Oh, it's not quite lethal, but it's close. I'm gonna leave this up so I can regenerate my elves, actually, I think. Yeah, I think we just leave up regen mana. Man, and we limped around and were really far behind for a lot of this game, and then just like popped up. The Lead the Stampede and Collected Company together, they just allow you to grind so well. Yeah, I guess attacking with my 3/3 was probably right. I didn't pump because I wanted to hold up regen mana off the Archdruid, but attacking with the 3/3 was probably still reasonable because they like triple block it that I could just pump and trample through. Yeah, I was probably supposed to attack with the 3/3 there. We're not a control deck. We want our cards to be able to kill our opponent. I don't want a bunch of reactive cards in my hand. Oh, right. Regeneration shields last till end of turn. I could have just put a shield on it and then attacked. I have a Collective Brutality. Be a little brutal. Smells like brutality. Treadbore. You're dork. Yep. I'm gonna Visionary here, actually. I just want to kind of be resource efficient. I'm gonna attack with this Visionary because they're not gonna block. Should be a free point of damage. Yes, regenerating taps the creature, taps it and removes it from combat. Heroic Intervention's a neat card. I don't know if you really need it though. Like, The fact that you like have Collected Company and Lead the Stampede allows you to generate a lot of value to just play through sweepers, as opposed to trying to like hold up a card to play through them or to counter them. Just gonna like Hulk Smash here, right? Feels a little bit bad, but like I don't have a company in my hand anymore anyways. Worth noting, this Reclamation Sage looks a lot worse than a Nettle Sentinel would have been here. If we had an untapped land next turn, we just get to overrun and smash them. They probably have a removal spell here. Yep. We lost game 1 to a Blood Moon. I think boarding in the Rec Sage was probably an overreaction. I think it was probably an overreaction. Or like, I guess having a 2/2 is not that different here. They had Blood Moon in their deck game 2. They discarded it to a Faithless Looting. I mean, a 3-mana 2/1's pretty shitty against the Lingering Souls Young Pyromancer deck. Why is that better? It's resource efficient, but why is it better? Oh, they had Phyrexian Revoker 2 in one of the games, which I guess that makes Reclamation Sage better too. This is gonna name Ezuri here. Really looking for companies and Lead the Stampedes here, cards that can let us generate some card advantage to kind of snowball. Pretty good. I'd rather they trade their 2/1/1s for my 2/2 than trade their 1/1/1 for my 1/1. So I think if I attack with the 1/1 and the 2/2, their blocks just become different. They know my last cards. Might as well just auto pass here. Hopefully we can draw one of our draw 3s here. Shaman is going to be lethal very quickly now as well. Just gonna play these lands out because if we hit a good Lead the Stampede, we're gonna need as much mana as possible. My sub to any Twitch channels. I currently use my Twitch Prime on Brian Kibler's channel. I watch him stream Hearthstone with some regularity. Being K commanded. At least it's just a land, I guess. This is punishment for. This is punishment for. Playing out the Blooming Marsh. It's fine. I didn't want to use the draw card button anyways, Magic Online. Joke's on you. Chrissy doesn't really stream. We've streamed a couple of small things on her channel, but nothing enough to get her affiliate. So long, Lead the Stampede. Is it a different person or the same one? Different person. To lose to bad Jund decks. I'm gonna get my Dwynen's Elite down here. I want to prioritize getting the token out of this now before they kill my stuff. Duckles, if you're watching, I saw your message and I just typed unban and you said you weren't banned. Yeah, the Intruder Learn combo deck, Sweet Gamble. It's not very good, but I would definitely play it again. Howdy, Snivale. Can't attack into the goof. These Tarmogoyfs are so huge. My tiny green men and women can't do anything. Why are they so huge? Why are they so huge? Alright, waiting on a Lead the Stampede. Tireless Tracker Jund. Color me interested. Color me interested. Huh. This attack seems really loose, right? I just do this and I trade 2/2s for their Tarmogoyfs. Was almost a toy. Mardu. So the Mardu deck does a lot of really impressive like card selection style things, but at the end of the day, you need to not underestimate how good Tarmogoyf is as a Magic card. The Mardu deck, in my experience playing with it, has a lot of trouble actually closing games out in a lot of matchups. Jund is very good at actually killing its opponent. Like, it's hard to outgrind Bedlam Reveler and Faithless Looting to, like, find your Bedlam Revelers, but at the end of the day, when it comes to just, like, getting your opponent dead, Jund is much better at doing that. Remember when I said I like having reach in my aggro deck? Hmm. We literally just don't sideboard, right? Pretty sure we just don't sideboard. Pretty sure our main deck is set up to grind. Oh, Elvish Champion. Duh. Duh, why aren't these in my deck? Get in there, right? Their deck has forests. Good call. Do you ever sideboard? Well, the sideboard in this deck's got pretty specific cards in it. It's got like 6 cards in the discard spells, and these cards are like spell-based matchups. These come in against control. All these cards come in against artifact strategies. I think this deck lines up pretty well against the interactive mid-range decks in the format for sure. Isn't Damping Sphere better than Thorn of Amethyst? Kinda. We're a deck that wants to play multiple spells in a turn as well. So, like, the fact that Damping Sphere is kind of a double-edged sword can come up sometimes. I don't think Stain the Mind type effect is very, very good in Modern in general. A lot of the combo decks that are good in Modern, you can't just take one card away from them and they can no longer win the game. Like, the Scape Shifts and the Ad Nauseams of the world are few and far between. Like, the best Scape Shift deck in the format right now has Primeval Titan as well. I probably just wouldn't sideboard against Burn. You can race Burn pretty easily with this deck. So, there isn't really a mono green elves deck currently. There's this green-black variation, and then there's green-white elves, which splashes for Vizier of the Remedies, and then some sideboard cards. I'd be pretty impressed if we beat this Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant uncontested while at a pretty high life total. I guess with the Shaman of the packs, if we get fortunate, we can maybe drain them out depending on what they hit. Maybe Bob's on our team. Tilt. Come on, Bob. God bless you. God bless you, Robert. All the good things you stand for. Bloodbraid's gonna make it tough to race here. Second, Bob. Do you want to put that one into play? Oh, you do want to put that. I can respect the size of my opponent's testicles. I can respect their testicular weight. That's pretty bold. It's pretty bold. Yep, that's a 3. Land, tilt. Whoa, 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 Daz. Calm down. You can't swing the permahammer. Nothing to see here, no plays, just very unlucky. Whoa, that's an aggro attack. Whoa, that's an aggro attack. All right, Bobby. All right, Bobby. All right, Robert Bob Fadant. Come on, Bobby. Do me a solid. Bobby! Bobby! Come on, come on. There's blood braids and tireless trackers. Maelstrom Pulse. Let's go, Bobby! Let's go, Bobby! Woo! God bless you. God bless you, opponent. Dark Confidant, most certainly on our team. Let's go. All right, 2-2. Let's see if we can wrap it up strong. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out through the end of the Magic segment today. I do appreciate it. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to stream full time like this here. This next match is going to be my last Magic match of today, and we're going to close out with some Hearthstone. But I'll be back tomorrow all day. Mondays and Fridays are my extra long Magic stream days. I'll be here for 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 hours if I can talk the wife into let me do it. At any rate, if you're enjoying this stuff, thank you very much, Drew3141. Consider doing like Drew just did there and subscribing to the channel. Also, be sure to check out some of my sponsors. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. And of course, the wonderful moderation staff here would like to welcome you to Hoaglandia. Please be sure to talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator for your complimentary timeout. What cards are a must for budget tempo mage? In terms of like rares, Explosive Runes and Cinderstorm are probably the most important rares. Oh, no, Explosive Runes and Tormage are the most important rares. If you're talking about getting into epics, Primordial Glyph should be the first epic you craft. Seems okay. I'm gonna keep the land just in case they're an interactive deck that can kill my stuff. This is the fifth and final match in this league. All right. Someone asked about burn. It's a good start. What do we think? You think we're gonna race the burn player? God, this goblin guy just drawn us 2 cards. I assume the Archdruid said here. Helix looks like. Is that good? What do we think about those? Going wide. Go. This is all I got. Why haven't you played any spells, opponent? You've only played like 2 spells. I've played so many more spells than you. No, because I'm pretty unlikely to Shaman this turn. Just because, like, I already had the Dwynen's Elite plus another 1 mana spell in my hand, so it's pretty unlikely to matter. Do I want Reclamation Sage for killing Eidolon in this matchup? Lead the Stampede's probably a little bit slow on average. I probably don't want all of these. That seems like a fine trade, just like cut 2 for 2. I think I like that. No, I think Duress is narrow. We're 2-2 in this league. Is it nuts to bottom this? I think I just want more 1s and 2s, right? Trammed, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. And there's a lot of great people making content on Twitch right now, so thanks for choosing to support mine this month with that. Thank you very much and welcome. No turn 1 must mean they have Eidolon, right? Like there's a reason they kept a slower hand. Maybe Searing Blazes. That's an interesting thought, Telric. Yeah, like if this was an Elvish champion right now, I'd be in a happier spot. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Just like boarded in for the race potential, basically. I kind of like that. If we go to a 3rd game, I might make that swap. We killing my Heritage Druid, sure. This doesn't seem to be like a winning series of plays for them, right? I'm not attacking here. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade, honestly. This is why I wasn't super worried about Eidolon. Like, they're gonna get locked under their own Eidolon. Like, I'm going to 14 here, sure. But they're going to 6, and then they're gonna have to cast this Rift Bolt, which is gonna put them to 4. Cankle Biter. Here's for another Kiln Fiend or the start. Nope, stop it. Kiln Fiend. Thank you for the bits. 10 out of 10. Thanks for the support. Sounds good, Yana. No, of course, Poop Bears. Yeah. Triggers all around. I'm following on YouTube a while, but I decided to join Twitch just because of your channel. I have a $40,000 Magic collection with almost all vintages, but I'm also a dad with 5 kids, and I'm thinking about making you play all the decks I want. It's just money, right? I am happy and willing to play lots of decks. Thank you for the support at any rate, TramD. I'm glad you popped onto Twitch just to support the content. I really appreciate that. So they literally just can't play Magic, right? They can't cast spells, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Lead the Stampede here. I get 4 spells, right? This is the first of my 4 spells. What a board state, right? So now I go elf, and that ends me up at 4. Why is it correct, Zach? That's true. But I mean, they can't cast anything. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Now, if they attack with Eidolon, I just kill them on the backswing. Yeah, this matchup's pretty good for elves. Just like you're good at all of your sources of damage are repeatable, and their sources of damage are not repeatable. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to give feedback on decks like this. I really feel like the main deck in this deck is pretty well streamlined. It's literally all 4 ofs except for these 2 Ezuris to round out the 18 lands. I think a couple of Horizon Canopies are good there. The GP list wasn't playing Horizon Canopies, but they also didn't play Cavern of Souls because of budget reasons, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't play Canopy because of budget reasons as well. We didn't really get a chance to play Damping Spheres or Thorns in the sideboard. Honestly, though, I would think about what you're doing in like the control matchups. If you don't need these Thoughtseizes and Duress against control decks, just having more permanent based hate like this is probably better against Storm. At any rate, thank you everybody for watching through the end of our Magic stuff.